I used to spend the entire game staring at the clock, counting down every second spent and counting up the deficit, not playing and just watching it get high until I found myself down 25 before halftime and I'd given up. Game wasn't half over and I'd had enough. I didn't want to try anymore, just let the clock run down, waiting for the buzzer until time has run out. Yeah, it would be over, but there's nothing left to feel sad about. Because the young veteran is used to losing. I've been doing it my whole life. And I got so used to it that it started to feel right. And I started to own it, expect it, prefer it, like I deserved it, like it was meant for me, like destiny was my chooser. And I was meant to be a lost loser. So I started sitting out, seeking the disappointment so I could save myself, just staying on the bench waiting and going through the whole game without participating, just staring at the clock asking, when will it be over? When will it stop? Not realizing all the time spent accepting a role I gave myself as the last on the bench. And in wasting all that time, I realized you can always convince yourself not to play. I'm not that good. They're better. I'm off today. So many different things you could say, but that feeling doesn't exactly just go away. The nagging voice you push aside when you're afraid, the one that says, I want to be out there. I could be out there. I should be out there. And I know this because I did the same. I spent all this time waiting for more opportunities to not play. And it started to feel redundant. It started to feel insane. Thoughts centered around myself, doing only thinking while I was sitting out until I realized that it's not just about me. Is it? What about the other people on my team? How could I help the rookie in the same position as me? Because I've been there before. And I've tasted defeat. But now I could help bring young people to victory. See, it all started to change when I asked myself what I could do for others. Putting my hand in, getting in on the huddle, seeing that I had something to give, talent, and I've spent this entire time not sharing it. And I can encourage others. I could build them up. The ones who gave up on the game like me, I could show them that it's not over. It's a new quarter. We can come back. We can still win, and now's the time. It's time to stop acting like I wasn't given gifts. I was given gifts, and now I'm giving gifts. The time has come, boy. I was made for this. To win the whole game at the buzzer, they'll wish they stayed for this. You have something you can't buy, you can't pay for this. I sat out so long, I can't believe I didn't play for this. See, now I know that I have something to give, and you have something to give. You have something. I'm trying to show you that you're good at it, because now I know I'm good. Because God made me that way. Fire in my heart and ice in my veins, and I came to play. You better start me. I'm filled with the Spirit. Tell the devil he can't guard me. I'm shooting all the same shots that used to scare me. Now I just throw up prayers, chuck Hail Marys. Never had faith in myself, and now I'm a believer. But I was there. I was. Too afraid to shoot it. Don't pass me the ball. I'm just going to mess it up. Passing it right back off as soon as I get a touch. Even when I was wide open, with nothing stopping me, I would. And no one could stop me like I could. I waited so long to feel alive. So many times I didn't try, and you know what? It wasn't worth it. I wish I did. I wish I could have known what real failure is. Because failure isn't missing the shot. It's not having a big fall or dropping the ball or making a mistake or a wrong decision. Failure is not winning. Real failure is giving up on yourself, believing the doubt, following fear and taking its route. It's bigger than making or missing or less than 50. It comes before how you perform. Before you even step foot on the floor, there's a decision you make. So what decision will you make? Because it's time now. It's the final timeout. We didn't give up, and now the game is tied and 4.2 seconds left in overtime, and I'm looking at you. It's your turn to shoot. I'm passing you the ball, looking you in the eyes like let it fly, just throw it in the air. And the buzzer sounds, one thing matters. Not the rest of the game, or how you played, if it goes in and you win, or if it hits back rim and you miss. What matters is you took it. And even if you took your time and waited, you came back. You made it. And it's your turn now. So take it. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Agincourt Youth Poetry Slam. We are so glad you're here with us today. Thank you for everybody throwing so much hype in the chat and talking with us. We have an awesome night lined up. We have 10 youth performers that are competing today, all of which are between the ages of 15 to 17. So we played that video for you to start us off, to kick us off, to get everybody in the mood. And that poem is by that handsome poet is called The Comeback. And it is just basically saying that you were made for this. So what Stay Golden is about is giving youth a platform and a community to connect and share their stories through the art. So that's exactly what we're doing tonight. 10 youth who know they were made for this. And this is not an easy thing to do. There are lots of people watching. We're going to have 10 live performances. So we need all the encouragement we can get for these amazingly talented young artists. We're going to get more into that later. It's a usual custom at slams to have an open mic period. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a quick open mic. I'm going to kick it over to my co-host. His name is John. He's going to be leading us back in that. And after that, we're going to jump right back into the competition. So I'm going to kick it over to John right now, and he's going to open up our open mic time.
Hey, thanks, Jesse. All right, so I'm so excited and just thrilled that we're able to do this spoken word competition and have an open mic event, despite the fact that COVID's made it impossible for us to meet in person. Nonetheless, there's a ton of talent, and we have so many artists from Toronto who are excited to present all different types of spoken word. So in any case, we have 9 pieces of spoken word poetry that we're going to present first, and later we have a competition that we're going to get into with 10 really talented contestants. So in any case, I'm really excited because I've lived in Toronto my whole life. I'm an elementary school teacher here now, and we're going to start with our very first piece. It's by Raymond Toe. He's doing a cover of Drake, and it's called Sanitize. So just tell you a little bit about Raymond Toe. His Instagram, if you want to follow him, is Ray Toe Music, and you can also find him on YouTube by searching up Raymond Toe.
People say Corona now the new normal. Payoff is that 5G on cruise control. China tried to hide it, but it cost too much. Feel like Scottie Pippen cause my shot too clutch. Haven't seen my barber in at least 2 months. Mama's now the cutter cause he's out to lunch. Someone said to fade it like Nowitzki's touch. Everyone a critic, so I'll let you judge. Nah, friends, this is wrong, not safe. Didn't even know you held a blade, watch your place. People got the bald spot the size of a ridge. I can't even see your head, you always wear a wig. Woo! This is not a test, I'ma live. Got another dream for my kids, it ain't this. Do 100 push-ups every day for the gym. People always saying that it is what it is. People say Corona now the new normal. Payoff is that 5G on cruise control. China tried to hide it, but it cost too much. Feel like Scottie Pippen cause my shot too clutch. Yeah.
Alrighty. So our next piece is by Sawyer Bullock, magician from Toronto. On Instagram, it's Sawyer Bullock 1, and you can also look it up on YouTube by searching Sawyer Bullock. That's our second open mic piece.
What's up, Agincourt Open Mic? My name is Sawyer. Great to be with you all. I'm not a poet, actually. I'm a magician, and I want to show you something cool with these. These are cards, of course, but I've actually kind of cut them in half down the middle here. I find they're easier to transport that way. You fold them in half, and then when you need them, you stick them back together, and then you pull out the cards for whatever you need to do. Today, I'm going to show you something really hard. This is not an easy card trick. This is not the kind of thing Uncle Bob shows you at Christmas. This took me half of my life to pull off. You need sensitivity with the fingertips. You need good mental math skills. It takes years of discipline and social isolation. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to make sure you can see the cards, first of all. I'm going to shuffle the cards. As I shuffle them, I'm going to look for the 4 aces, and I'm going to find them, and I'm going to move them to a special place in the deck. Allow me to show you. Years of discipline, practice, self-denial for you today. 4 aces. 4 aces. Sorry about that. 4 aces. Come on, 4. Oh gosh, 4 aces. 4 aces. 4 aces. Where'd they go? Maybe a different trick. You want the aces? Okay. There is the first ace, the ace of spades. The others I will find, hopefully with a little bit more control this time. I'm gonna shuffle the cards up as I do so. The other aces. About halfway down, that should be 26 cards, is the ace of clubs. Ooh. So far so good. 2 down, 2 to go. I'll leave these here. The next I will find will be it'll be a red one, I can tell you that. Perhaps the ace of diamonds. 28 cards this time. Ooh. That is the ace of diamonds. And the last one is the ace of hearts. The ace of hearts. Let's see if I can do this. Ace of hearts. Got it this time. And if I rub it right here on the table, to the right spot, you can actually see that the card disappears. It's cool, huh? Okay, it's actually gone. It's gone. But it goes over here with the 3 others, the ace of hearts. Hold your applause, just throw money. That's all right, that's fine. Now, I was doing this for a person live. So this would have been pre-COVID. And as I was doing it, the person said, after I did this, they said, hey Magic Boy, it's easy of you to find those cards when you're the one doing the shuffling, right? How about I shuffle them and let's see if you can still find those aces. And I thought, okay, maybe he's not gonna do anything too crazy. He'll be a gentleman about all this. He was not. He took the cards and instead of shuffling them together like this, like normal people do, he took half of them and turned them upside down. So that half the cards were face up and half the cards were face down. And he shuffled them in together this way. I'll do this slow so you can see. This is not an illusion. The cards are actually going in together like this. Sorry, get them all in there. Face up and face down. Let me show you. It was a big mess. Cards face up, face down, back to face to back, upside down, left side, right. He took the cards and then he gave them back to me and said, all right, Magic Boy, fix them. This is what I did. Did it like that. And if you look, all the cards are fixed. Every single card except for the 4 aces. And that's what I did for him. Now that's pretty good. He was like, all right, good job, you found the aces. Can you find the 2s? Could you find the 3s or the 4s? Could you find all the cards? I thought, all right, one of these, and there was the 2. There was the 3, and the 4, and the 5, and the 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, Jack, Queen, King, for not only all the clubs, but for all of the hearts, and for all of the spades, and for all of the diamonds. Clubs, hearts, spades, and diamonds. Thanks so much for watching.
Alrighty, so next up, we have Moreno Zulu, who's performing Lullaby. And Moreno is a rapper from Scarborough.
Never have limits off for my life. Always ride driver when I'm ripping road. Never burning bridges if it isn't right. Number 5 vision when I hit the code. Baby girl saying I'm original, and the brown eyes be staring right in my soul. And her curls swinging in the air, you already know. She can listen to me talk, saying beautiful is mutual. Baby, taking limits off for my life. You the vibe, feeling all overnight. You and I, feelings I can't describe. You and I, perfect for a lullaby. Wait a little minute, mind your business. Getting reckless every minute, skipping breakfast for the image. Wait, yo, let me enter in the building. Do your stretches every evening, but you never even finish, no. How come I can rap about my message? Pretty epic, getting lettuce while I'm working on my credit. Tell me how. The folks can see my numbers, they don't get it. How I'm spending and I'm spending, not to mention it is heaven. Baby, taking limits off for my life. You the vibe, feeling all overnight. You and I, feelings I can't describe. You and I, perfect for a lullaby. Never have limits off for my life. Always ride driver when I'm ripping road. Never burning bridges if it isn't right. Number 5 vision when I hit the code. Baby girl saying I'm original, and the brown eyes be staring right in my soul. And her curls swinging in the air, you already know. She can listen to me talk, saying beautiful is mutual. Baby, taking limits off for my life. You the vibe, feeling all overnight. You and I, feelings I can't describe. You and I, perfect for a lullaby. Wait a little minute, mind your business. Getting reckless every minute, skipping breakfast for the image. Wait, yo, let me enter in the building. Do your stretches every evening, but you never even finish, no. How come I can rap about my message? Pretty epic, getting lettuce while I'm working on my credit. Tell me how. The folks can see my numbers, they don't get it. How I'm spending and I'm spending, not to mention it is heaven. Baby, taking limits off for my life. You the vibe, feeling all overnight. You and I, feelings I can't describe. You and I, perfect for a lullaby.
Up next, we have Whitney Morris, who's covering Communications, which is originally performed by Cardigans. So this is a singer from Richmond Hill. Her Instagram is Whitpar. I'll spell that for you. So it's WHITTPARR. And her YouTube is Whitney Morris.
For 27 years I've been trying to believe and confide in different people I found. Some of them got closer than others. Some I wouldn't even bother. And then you came around. I didn't really know what to call you. You didn't know me at all. But I was happy to explain.
Next up, we have a cover of the Chainsmokers. It's the track Paris. It's being performed by Santa Danielle. Danielle is a singer and ukulele player from Toronto. On YouTube, you can look her up by typing Run X Jump Boom.
Staying in Paris to get away from your parents, and I thought, oh, if I could take this in a shot right now, I don't think that we could work this out on the terrace. I don't know if it's fair, but I thought, how could I let you fall by yourself and wasted for someone else? If we go down, then we go down together. They'll say you could do anything. They'll say that I was clever. If we go down, then we go down together. We'll get away with everything. Let's show them we are better. Let's show them we are. Show them we are. Let's show them we are better. Let's show them we are. Show them we are. Let's show them we are better. We were staying in Paris to get away from your parents, and you're so proud, standing there with the fly and the cigarettes, posting pictures of yourself on the internet, out on the terrace. I don't live in this area, this small town, on our own, couldn't pass for the thrill of it, getting drunk on the bus we were living in. What are you willing to do? Oh, tell me what you're willing to do. Oh, what are you willing to do? Oh, tell me what you're willing to do. And if we go down, then we go down together. They'll say you could do anything. They'll say that I was clever. If we go down, then we go down together. Get away with everything. Let's show them we are better. Let's show them we are. Show them we are. Let's show them we are better. Let's show them we are. Show them we are. Let's show them we are better. Let's show them we are better.
Next up, we have Joyce Yang, who's covering Nakamura. The track is Hiatus Coyote. This performer, again, is named Joyce. She's 17. She plays guitar, double bass, and she also sings. Her favorite genres of music are rock and folk music.
Hannah, my darling, oh, I'll follow you into the sunrise of the desert sky. We fly, rise together with our hearts upon our sleeves for all to see. We to breathe, aqua queen, the vast distance between our sails with love for you. I love you, I love you, I do. Oh, it sets our hearts to fire, sweeps you and I don't you. Oh, it sets our hearts to fire, sweeps you and I don't you. We two will pull watch me struggle with your words. How we'll see in time. Opening I love you, I do. Oh, it sets our hearts to fire, sweeps you and I don't know. It sets our hearts to fire, sweeps you and I don't know. We two will pulsing through this life. I don't know. We two will pull. I'll always love you. Yeah, 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 yeah. Love you. Yeah, 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 yeah. Love you. I do love you. Yeah, 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 yeah. Love you. Yeah, 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 yeah. Love you. I do. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Thank you.
It's a great performance by Joyce. As you can see, I had to change my outfit. We had a few complaints from people saying I was repping the wrong city. I'm sorry about that. So put my Raptors jersey on. In any case, next up we have Gabriella Smith, who's a poet from East York in Toronto. She's singing an original song called 40 Days. You can check her out on Instagram at Gabriella P. Smith.
Hi, my name is Gabby. I'm going to be singing a song for you that I just wrote. It is called 40 Days. It is a little bit rough and unfinished, but I hope that you enjoy. I embraced the holiness of who I am. 40 days of loneliness, the devil had a plan. A lonely Romeo, I'm my biggest fan. I learned how much you hurt when I don't have a plan. I talk to the mirror all the time. I listen to the choir sing and analyze each line. I'm waiting for you to change in time. I learned too young not to chase what's mine, so I sit at home, watch her sipping on coffee, wishing here was a hotel lobby. Fast forward to you kissing me softly. Those days are gone, those days are beautiful, cause we're dripping in moonlight, singing to the songs we only sing about at midnight. I'm fine, please say the words alright, you're alright. So hold me, it's hard to let you go. I recognize a good thing, you're a rarity, you know. Hold me, it's hard to let me go. I recognize a good thing, I'm a rarity, you know. I am a rarity, you know. Don't let me go. You are a rarity, you know. Can't let you go. Thank you.
Next up, we have one of our last performances. This is by Josh Waito. He just dropped his album Illuminate. You can check him out on Spotify.
Expectations of man so free, purposely cliche, oh yeah. I just trust all my everyone. Now I'm feeling so alive. I know you can't touch my flow, 'cause I found I'm gold. Refining, I'm shining. Been through the pressure like diamonds. Been a while, but it's still perfect timing. I'm in alignment with the fine consignment. I can be the fine, but when you see what your eyelids, look through on the back, heaven knows I'm in charge with it. Burning says a fire. I'm a growing higher. I ain't knowledge that I know, but believe it. Yeah, they got these shit times and seasons. Yeah, they got these shit times and seasons. You got the time. You got the seasons in your hands. You got the time. Hey, you got the seasons in your hands. Oluwa, mad love, brother, mad love.
So we have our very last performance, which will wrap up the open mic section of the evening. It's a short poem by one of the hosts of Stay Golden, Shuli.
Hey guys, how's everyone doing? Yeah, my name is Shuli, and yeah, I'm super excited to just perform like a quick piece, a quick poem, just to kind of get us ready for some more spoken word with our youth performers. Thank you so much for being here. I've actually been in the background, kind of just doing all the tech side, so you won't be seeing much of me. And this is I swear, this is the last time I'm gonna be talking. But anyways, this is a poem. So, if by chance touch does not convey the joy the mind can make, then let this be like little God, a copy in clay, like the spark that starts a flame, the heat that coaxes metal to make anew its shape. If I am happy now, then I was sad, sunken like stone on rugged soil, but you didn't leave me unnoticed. Pick me up this pebble, then polish. If there are cracks in the surface, they are but crow's feet, learning to soar with joy, and there is a dynamite in this chest, learning of the excitement in change. It is something new. Like a fuse with the potential to burn, you place me next to you, this place where the warm heat holds the heart. And though at times it feels like heavy stone, there is joy seeping in the cracks that have formed. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shuli. That was wicked, man. Yeah, so Shuli wraps up our open mic. As you can see, our open mic portion, we open it to all arts because we want to, get a wide variety of all kinds of artists from across Toronto. So we want to say thank you to all of our open mic participants for kicking it off. Thank you, John, for hosting it. That was Shuli. He is the co-director of Stay Golden. He is in the background putting out all the fires that happen behind the scenes that we don't see. I just stand here and just talk to you guys. So before we're going to go into the bulk of our evening, which we are so excited for. And before we do that, I just want to give a quick shout out to the Toronto Arts Council, who actually funded this event. And I just want to talk a little bit about the competition before we start. Like I said, we have 10 participants aged 15 to 17, and we have 3 wicked prizes. Our first place prize is a brand new iPad with gold on the back. You could probably guess why. And it is engraved Agincourt Youth Poetry Slam champion. That is going to go to the first place winner. Our second place winner is getting $200 in Amazon gift cards to do whatever they want with. And our third place prize is something called the Rocket Book Everlast. If you don't know what that is, it's like a notebook that Sawyer Bullock probably created because it's magic. It's like it. You look it up after this. It's wicked. There's 3 awesome prizes. Before we jump into that, I do want to just explain a bit that we actually have 4 very special judges that we have selected that are members of the community, also people that have been um, connected with Stay Golden in one way or another. Our first judge that I'd like to introduce is a good friend. Her name is Sam Khalil. She is the project coordinator at SLY, which stands for Student Leadership and Youth Empowerment. SLY's mission is to connect youth to resources in their community, as well as support youth in capacity and skill building. Sam also runs the SLY Network, a community of youth serving agencies that come together to figure out how to best serve youth across Toronto. Sam is dedicated to empowering youth and encouraging them to follow their passions. So we want to say thank you so much, Sam, for being here and for all that you've done for Stay Golden. We actually restarted Stay Golden about a year ago, and me and Shuli came into one of her meetings that she invited us in, and we ate all the free food. And we didn't have business cards, we didn't have any posters or anything like that, but she welcomed us there, and everything has really taken off from there. So thank you for being with us here, Sam. Our second host, his name is Jeffrey Thomas. Jeffrey Thomas has been supporting student writing for the past 15 years. He's one of the organizers of the TCTE Short Fiction Contest and is one of the founding members of the annual Young Writers Conference, a collaboration between the TDSB and the Toronto International Festival of Authors. He's promoted poetry to teenagers for years through poetry festivals and slams. And we'd like to thank you personally for being here, also for having us come into your writer's craft class that one time as complete strangers and present to you, which really helped us get off the ground and get our workshop started, which has led us to today. Our third amazing judge, her name is Anne Merriam, and we are so grateful to have her here. Anne Merriam is the artistic director for both Edge of the Sky, which is a management and training company for young artists in film, TV, and theater, and Black, which stands for Building a Legacy in Cinema, Acting, and Knowledge, founded by Stefan James and Shamir Anderson. Anne has 35 years in the industry as an educator, created WPA School for the Arts, Performing Arts Program, theater director of Toronto Fringe Next Step Theater Festival, and director of professional Glee performances for and with industry professionals. You can look for her in the film Unsung, Behind the Glee, by Canada's award-winning documentary film director Mose Mossanen. And that, wow, there's a lot to say there about these amazing judges. So thank you so much, Anne, for being here. We're privileged to have you. And our last judge, his name is Nick Thomas. He is a mutual friend of John. He is a former journalism student from the University of Toronto, an avid fan of spoken word and rap. So it's great to have someone that's really come through that culture and has listened to a lot of spoken word and a lot of rap. He is an artist himself, and he is into beatboxing and drumming. So thank you so much to our judges. And we are going to get into our live performances now. So if you've noticed, some of the open mics were pre-recorded, except for one. All of these performances that you're about to see are live. They are doing them live. So we need support in the chat. A lot of the times, this is the first time a lot of them have been performing in a slam. This is certainly probably the first time in an online slam, because this is probably the first time an online slam has ever taken place. That might not be true, but I'm going to tell myself it is. But I want to introduce our first performer. She is a 16-year-old girl, and her name is Deneen. So please give it up for Deneen, everybody.
All right, can everyone hear me?
Yep.
Awesome. Okay, so my name is Deneen, and this is my poem called The Progressive Insanities of a Black Person. Hope you enjoy, everyone. If I knew of the pain that my Blackness would bring, I'd crawl back into the womb and ask God to start anew. Why? Because For every mention of Black Lives Matter, yet again, there comes another black blood spatter inside. Did you skip class? Did you miss the lesson? Because all my 17 lives caught up just fine. But I'll give it to you anyways. Dropped by the stork from the sky to the ground, I looked upon the world that I gradually, then suddenly found. It was all so bright, all so new, crying, but everything was fine, if not divine, and my skin is peeling. There's more than just me. There are others too. Some are lighter, those tan like sand, those red like a rose when at the mercy of the sun, and then there's me, not always seen. My source told me that I was too dark and that was the part that I needed to fix about myself. Despite her being me, apparently you couldn't be too much of me. So me, more of me, less of me, or the others. Which one is right? Which one? That's a rhetorical question, of course. I know what is right. I know what is good. Everything that I'm not is everything that I should be. Me, I, we, black is wrong. My skin, my sin. Black is the visceral and explicit lack that I am. You see, there was nowhere to go outside of this shell. Hidden windows and the doors and the freedom and the heart. Oh, to feign comfort was my only way forward. I do not see myself as a part of it. Instead, I am far from it, far from me subconsciously. That's where I want to be. In all honesty, I love the others, anyone but me. I am the others. Please, please, when the question on the page is what is your race/ethnicity, I scream in response that I am sorry. On to the next question. I got a bit hysterical there, but I'm better because of it. I'm stronger, smarter. So thank you for this pain that activates and stimulates my left and right brain. And thank you for the stage.
Wow. Thank you so much, Deneen.
Thank you.
That was absolutely wicked. Thank you for starting us off on such a high note. And it's amazing to see it already. Just you can see the passion of these young artists, and it's just what a great way to start. We're gonna move forward. We're gonna go into our next performer. This is another 16-year-old girl. Her name is Zara Rahman. So we are gonna bring her into the chat, and she's gonna do a live poem for us.
Your father is the first man you learn to love. But what do you do when the first man you learn to love is not worth loving? Do you run? Hope the pain leaves your soul from the soles of your shoes, or do you stay? Frozen in place, icy tentacles encased around the body, a cephalopod of a puppeteer controls your life through loose strings and firm wrists I cannot forgive, since memory forbids that I forget. Since memory is the explosion of ripples at the drop of a pin, puddle drop silence is all that I know of, begging to be recalled. Time rings in my ears and I'm 3 years old, standing in front of a puddle of blood that is not mine. My mother, wounded with a tomato, face crumpled like paper at the hands of my father. I was 3 years old, the oldest memory I know. What do you do when the first man you learn to love is considered a monster? No, she says, it's stress. No, Ma screams, it's work. He's sick. It's all men. It's I, the woman. It's dirty dishes and snow days. You better respect him, child. He is your father after all, child. I wonder when she will say it is him. I am learning that self-blame is the shadow of suicide, is when the victim takes a gun pointed at them and claims it as a bounty for survival. The women in my family are survivors. We are raised to be whole and still fix the holes in the broken men doing the breaking. Guilt is a heartbeat I resent for being alive, a reminder that I see more light in him than darkness. What does that say about me? What does that say about her? What does that say about the women before us who were raised to believe to simply exist is victory? Yet the victims are never beaming in victory. To run or to stay, that is the question. No. To forgive or forget or to shatter is what I ask. No. How do you stay alive? By simply existing. She smiles, her lips watered down, soap dripping from the edges of her wrinkles. I'll be just fine. Just fine, just fine, just fine, just fine. Her words begin to lose meaning. Her words, once a lullaby, now bring me no sleep. And I reach for her soft skin and pull her in. And in this moment, we are two shattered women, nothing but whole.
Wow. Thank you so much, Sarah. That was beautiful. I definitely didn't prepare enough tissues for this. This really got off to a really wild start, I guess. But we should move forward with our next artist, who's a 17-year-old girl, and her name is Luana Kalani. So let's bring her in, and she's going to do a live poem for us.
You in the smooth flow, You in the smooth flow of an unbroken hymn, one of a forsaken melody, basking in the limelight, a river of crimson and dusk. You in the midst of the most reliable hymn, a tune that once heard will never leave your head, ever. You are my most outspoken lyric, a misspelled harmony, covered in ice to shield the imperfection. You are a composer who commands only the most powerful orchestra, to each his own. The drums would not beat, the violins would not twiddle if it weren't for you. Mozart, Beethoven, all the greats, you are greater than all the greats. While their music walks, your music flies. It travels on frequencies that our musical instruments can never reach, for it is completely past their limits. Do something with your music. Show it to your friends and only to your friends, or leave it to the millions, but do something with it. For a soul as sweet as honey should never be turned sour, and a soul as vibrational as a bullet should never be left cold. Pull the trigger, empty the chamber, your voice needs to be heard.
All right. Thank you so much, Luana. That was awesome. We're going to move into our next performer, who is our first male performer of the night. It is a 17-year-old young man, very talented, and his stage name is Clockwork Orange. It's all you, buddy. Take it away.
Okay. So this poem is called I Actually Failed, and it's about failure. The skinny minute hand strikes 9 on the dot. It's time for the test. I studied and finished my homework this time. It'll turn out better than the rest. My breathing accelerates with each step towards my seat. Thoughts of doubt, uncertainties, and academic defeat. The teacher isn't entirely convincing when she tells me not to worry. The test lands on my desk like a UFO on virgin territory. I exhale, pick up my unsharpened pencil, and try to concentrate. Answer the easy questions first and try to accept whatever fate. Just remember the formulas. Don't glance at the clock. You'll have time to spare. You have the poise of a rock. Okay, maybe just one little peek, just to gauge the time. What's the worst piece of news I can get? All will be fine. Oh, that's almost 10 whole minutes down the drain. 4 questions answered. 40%'s the highest I'll obtain. These answers are all wrong, but I can't stop to change anything. My heart, I feel smoke being released from my ears now. My heart is pounding. I'm going to fail this test and work in fast food for the rest of my life. I'll have to live in mom's basement. I'll never be able to find a wife. Oh God, I might as well kill myself right now in this filthy classroom. The kind of lecture I'll get is coming soon. I'll look back at the clock. I've only a mere 25 minutes left. I complete the multiple choice section with a shaking hand and bated breath. Just as I finish the last question, the teacher says, "My time is gone." I walk out of class thinking of all the questions I got wrong. On Monday, I receive my test. I scan it 3 times. I am obsessed. I calculate the mark in no time. I got a 47%. Far from fine. I go to my friend, who is noticeably down, and I ask, who or what is responsible for her frown? She says she actually failed the test horribly. I ask for her mark, ready to give comfort blindly. She responds, "I only got a 90.
Thank you very much. Clockwork Orange. That was awesome. That was really funny too. So we have we're gonna do one more performance before we actually go for a quick intermission, just to give everybody some time to absorb, because there's so much emotion and so much passion. I'm having trouble absorbing it. So we're gonna go to one more poet, and it's a 15-year-old girl that goes by LED. Take it away. The floor is yours.
Can you hear me? All right. My poem is called Decisions. They ask me what I want to be, but I don't know. They all up in my grill, but they can't stand the smoke. Just let me think. Making choices is hard to do. I'll take all of the above, 'cause I don't have a clue. Tomorrow becomes today. No time left to pick. Future is now the present, but is it really a gift? Mind is still developing. So are the conclusions. Multiple pathways, but which is the right one? Too many options. Can I get a hint? Oh yeah, it's my choice, not yours. So why doesn't it feel like it? It's hard to make a choice when the road has lots of forks. Want to make the big bucks or have fun when you're at work? If it's gonna be difficult, at least make it fun. Deciding the rest of my life is easier said than done. Alive with no drive, lacking motive to arise, indecisive but I strive to make a goal for life. Chocolate or vanilla? Vanilla is the best, duh. But regarding my future, there is no definite answer. Decisions.
Wow, thank you so much, LED. Thanks so much for all of the performances so far. We are halfway through our performance, our competition. We want to give the judges a chance to kind of think and give yourselves kind of chance to absorb that. We're going to take a 10-minute intermission. If you need to go to the bathroom, if you need to re-up on your tissues, if you need to do whatever you do, you can take 10 minutes and we are going to reconvene. For those who are staying, we do have a special treat for you, and we will roll that video right now.
Honey, I hope you're ready for a rap battle, because I'm about to move you out of the way like cattle. You deserted, digging yourself holes like Shia LaBeouf. I hope you're ready for beef, because this is going to get rough.
Okay.
You're gonna choke on a potato. Call me Little Hash Brown. Are you ready for an L? Because you're about to go down. You're like the food you most hate. Flat like a pancake. And I'll flip you upside down, boy. You're about to bake. But truth be told, I'm just a loudmouth boaster. Too scared and too short to even ride a roller coaster. And I'm so jelly of your luscious long hair. I scratch my head for ideas. Yet there's nothing there. I strive to be great like you. It's me that you embolden. Like a preacher, you speak words of wisdom to youth. I wrote this rap, but only half my lines told the truth.
So I got something ready for you, little tater. You ready?
Oh, well, let's hear it.
It's time to school, little tater, or as they call him, Mr. Diaz. He thinks he could teach me something, so it's time to take him to class. Funny man in real life, but this is a rap battle. You picked the wrong fight, so it's time to snap at him. J Money's got bars flowing pretty like his hair. Lil Tater's got bars that flow like his hair. It ain't fair, you shouldn't dare with an MC like me. Leave this Tater in the ground saying J Sweet Fini. I got some nice things to say, so I'm done being mean. Once I take this little Tater and put him in a poutine. But John just might be the nicest teacher that's ever been. Easygoing sense of humor, man, he's every student's dream. Helping me and the team when we're educating teens. Mr. Diaz, the cutest potato I've ever seen. So it's merci beaucoup from the Stay Golden crew to you and all your bright students who attended too. But after all the lessons, I just got one question left. Mr. Diaz, puis-je aller à la toilette? Bah!
All right, let's have a vote.
Hey, how's it going? It's your boy J Money. I'm facing Little Tater, who's changed his name to Darth Tater in this rap battle. Okay, I'm just kidding. It's me. Anyways, this is really, serious rap battle happening right now. I'm still kind of salty about losing to J Money last time, but I really trained very hard, and I'm ready to avenge my loss. All right, so I'm gonna get started right now. J Money is as real as counterfeit. He'll take his shots, but I'll counter it. I'll end his career by stating facts. I'll slash his worth down like a tax. He's inflated. His value drops in a recession, ending up in the dirt like a funeral procession. But man, I'ma forget you like I'm CeeLo Green, because I run the galaxy like Emperor Palpatine. And you're breathing so hard like Darth Vader. Need some help, boy? Here, borrow my inhaler. You're so envious. As green as a grenouille. Overlooked and overcooked. Like ratatouille. Say goodbye to your rap game, Monopoly. You can't win by rapping so sloppily. I'm a hot potato. Pass on this warning. My head is balding. My rhymes are scalding. And I'll bounce you around like your name is Spalding. But I admit, I had a hard time at a rap press conference. Because when I thought of you, I only had compliments. I have to admit you're a winner, never a quitter. You'd make my day if only you'd follow me back on Twitter. In the rap game, you're a legend, a real life fable. I just wish you'd sign me to the Stay Golden record label.
Okay. I'm gonna make one thing clear. Nobody makes fun of the Shutter Shades. All right. I thought this was gonna be friendly. I'm pulling no stops. I'm gonna end your career tonight. You ready for this?
No.
I hate to end your rap career before it's even started, but you're leaving here just like your hair that's already departed. You'll put the mic down for good and stop it with your racket. Try and tax me, cut me down, I'm on a whole other bracket. Since the first battle, Lil Tater, you've been stressing, writing rhymes every night with your hairline in recession. You even changed your name, man, you shouldn't even bother, cause I run the dark side, Lil tater, I'm your father. And the force is weak with this one. I do this just for fun. I'm Spalding cause I'm balling. You're cast away like Wilson. A French teacher turned battle rapper. What you think you're doing? Slow as escargot and overcooked like ratatouille. I'll leave you in pain. And I'm not talking bread. I peel potatoes for a living, leave them smoother than your head. But I do gotta say, I admire your courage today. After round one coming and standing up to me. I talk a big game, but I'll admit my jealousy. You don't spit fire, but you're way smarter than me. Bilingual writer, artist, so many specialties. And yeah, I got swag, but you got a degree. So after today, I'm hanging up the glasses. I'm stop writing rhymes, and I'm attend one of your classes. I'll go out on a high note, 80-0. Grant your wish and sign you to the Stay Golden label. Bah. There you go, little tater. I'm gonna sign you to the label, all right? I'm
reals?
done. I'm gonna grant your wish. I'm gonna grant your wish after today. I'm gonna sign you to the label.
Oh, I did when I should have brought some tissues, man.
Yeah, there you go, baby. All right, man. So yeah, just give us a second to transition back. I don't know what just happened just now, but I feel like something just took over me. But we're doing a poetry competition, right? That's what we were doing. So we'll get back to that actually. I don't know. Sometimes that just happens. I black out and I don't know. I can't really explain it. But let's get right back into this poetry competition because that's the real reason we're here, right? So we have 5 more performers left. We are halfway through our competition period. And without further ado, I want to bring in our next performer, a 16-year-old young lady that goes by Sabrina Morales. The floor is yours.
Yeah, I'm here. All right. Sorry, I keep hearing that it's that they're talking. Okay. Hi, my name's Sabrina. I'm gonna do a poem called Evolution of Life for a Teenage Girl. December 21st, 2003, I came out of my mother's womb weeks before I was due. Even though I shouldn't have, I was an early bird, my eyes blurred. I'd lay there in my mother's arms as she sobbed in pain for the simple fact that I wasn't perfect. God gave me all of these flaws equivalent to my innocence. My soft skin was just external. Internally, I was problematic. November 25th, 2015. It was just yesterday you left the drives to neighborhoods and go get baked goods. The blanket we laid on at the couch, you'd always fall asleep. And the articulation of your feet always made me feel at peace. It was all simplicity. August 21st, 2017. The toxicity in you could fill up a hot air balloon. The amount of things I could say to you will never make up for the things you had said to me. You don't know how much I buzzed around you all these years. I could sting you like a bee. It's all right because there were times you were the honey to my tea where we died of laughter at another video, but I know those times are gone. They're so gone that they can never be turned back on. October 5th, 2018. It's questionable on why I'm here. I don't know what to expect. These are new people, undiscovered territory. I'm here to repair history. I'm trying to get you to leave because you aren't healthy for me. I ran away for you, all for you, but nothing was good for me. August 26, 2020. I wanted you gone. I feel like a moron. Now I'm sitting here up till dawn, waiting for you to respond as I slide my finger against a fat screen, the flat screen looking at old messages that I cannot pawn. They're all gone. She wanted me to keep my shirt on as I convinced myself to turn the light back on. Yet at night she wanted something to look upon. We needed something to get high on. Those memories are gone. Why can't I respond? November 19th, 2020. The tension between my therapist as I trip in between what I'm going to say next. What should I say? What should I talk about today? Should I mention I cannot sleep at night? Because my throat is so tight and my brain doesn't shut off. As the voices in my head scoff at the fact that they're constantly nipping at my thoughts. I've been sitting here for 5 minutes trying to figure out what to say when she just asked me if I'm okay. I tried asking my mom what she thinks and how she thinks I'm doing, but the last thing she could remember about me was when I was still cooling. As I sit there trying to lay out an answer that will somehow please my doctor, she knows that I have no protector. No protector in my brain or my heart. Thank you.
Thank you, Sabrina. Thank you so much. All right, let's move right along to our next performer. We have another young lady who's 15 years old, and she goes by the name Pacina. Take it away, Pacina.
Come one, come all to the grand review of the new and improved Model 2 version of an emo-faced teenager. With its classic features such as depression and anxiety, this model has it all. But don't worry, most importantly, they won't be a bother to you whatsoever. You see, we took note of customer complaint regarding our Model 1 to give you the best experience possible for our Model 2. A teenager that dresses in all black, with hair swept over one eye? Why have that when you can have one that wears actually decent clothes? That way, you'll never know if something is wrong since they'll always seem normal. So if anything happens to them, it's a free, not my problem. Or perhaps you're tired of hearing our Model 1 being self-conscious. Are they constantly refusing to eat in order to stay skinny? Do they check their weight after every meal or do they hop on the scale 3 times a day or check the mirror after every meal? Well, don't worry, this time our Model 2 will eat anything. Of course, there is a chance of them still being self-conscious and maybe carrying an eating disorder because, hey, that we cannot control. But you won't have to deal with that because this time they'll figure it out themselves. Oh, and that's not all. You want it, so you got it. Talking back is just a form of being rebellious. Complaining about their lives is being annoying. Lack of confidence is attention seeking, while too much confidence is being stuck up. So no more of any of that. Here we strive to give you the best of the best. So there's no more sass, talking back, or for Pete's sake, expressing their opinions. Oh, and I also thought I'd have you know, we also sell accessories that pair well with our Model 2, ranging from long sleeves to hide their scars, or air freshener to mask the smell for when they purge down the toilet at midnight. You won't ever have to notice anything wrong with your Model 2 because, dear buyers, isn't that exactly what you want? Just remember to sign the terms and conditions. It covers details of how this model may or may not come with side effects, including burning out, being suicidal, low self-esteem, or self-isolation. But you don't need to go through these conditions. No one does anyways. Just click I agree and I assure you, your purchase of our new and improved Model 2 will be complete. Simple as that. But word of caution, if it breaks, there are no returns, refunds, or exchanges.
Wow. Wow. Thank you so much, Pacina. Thank you so much. Let's move on to our next performer, who's another young lady, and her stage name is Bloodline. Take it away, Bloodline.
Yeah, sorry, 1 second.
Just preparing for our next poem. Just give us a second.
I'm so sorry. My camera's just like freaking out.
It's okay. We can give it a sec. Oh, there we go. Now we can see you. All right, Bloodline.
Okay, no introduction. My piece is called, spoiler alert, She Opens the Door. She always said, when opportunity comes a knocking, you bet your ass I'll be the one to answer it. Not only a promise, but a reminder that she'd always be waiting for the next best thing, because we certainly weren't good enough. I'll never forget it. My grandmother is such a character. Up the valley and down the hill, still surprised that she'd fallen ill. I'm supposed to bring her good thoughts and a month's salary worth of baked goods, but I can't deny my underlying motivation, persuasion. I want to see her like this. I want to see her weak, bloodshot eyes, bringing ears and knees that start to creak. Maybe it's because she's bedridden, too tired to poke fun at my figure, too delirious to remember my nickname. She's never called me by my birth name, only Red Riding Hood, reminiscent of my dad's gift to me. I vowed never to take the red coat off, although I loved it so much because of my grandmother, I could only wear a copy. Furthermore, I don't really wear it anymore. The sun's rays hit me the same way they shined off the bottles she'd smashed over my mother's beloved dresser. There's unspoken tension between my grandmother and my dad's gift, and thinking of it, it wasn't unspoken. My grandmother's detest was something I wish I could explain, but it definitely was the key to my mother's ball and chain. She never comes with me to visit her. I don't know why, and it's because of that I know the shortcuts, the secrets, all the nooks and the crannies, all on the way to visit my granny. My mother doesn't know how to get anywhere. I'll always feel like my dad's watching me, and I'll always feel his disapproval when I make this trip. I start to skip, I slip. Why do I continue to visit? She does nothing but snarl at my existence and criticize my mother out of love, she claims, and she eats it up like the starved baker she is. It's almost like it's her job to remind me that I wasn't supposed to be here, that I should have been eaten by wolves or something. What grandmother did to my dad, the thought sends shivers down my spine. But that's not why I'm shivering now, is it? I know my dad's not the only one watching me. You crawl out of the bushes, hoping I don't notice your acid eyes. My dad told me stories about you. You think you're tough, don't you? I should be scared, shouldn't I? Just because you're the big bad wolf. But I'm not. You think I'm stunned, and I'll give it to you. I was, but a mental coin toss later, and I know my next move. I give you the address to my grandmother's. I enunciate. I even give you directions, and I promise to meet you there, which I won't. It's a win-win. You get dinner, and I get my family's peace. You assume you won the game and that God has answered your prayers, but let me tell you, Wolf, you weren't even a player, and you knock on her door. Her fate is sealed, and I know that for a fact because my grandmother always told me, when opportunity comes a knocking, I'll be the one to answer it. Thank you. Thank you so much for letting me perform.
And thank you for performing Bloodline. Wow, beautiful. So we have two more performances left out of our 10. And our next is a 16-year-old young lady by the name of Mimi. So Mimi, it is all you. The floor is yours.
Forks in her hair. Mom, I asked, why did she give up her tail? My mom looked up. Ariel stared at me from the library picture book, voice wrapping in tendrils around her, being extracted by Ursula. Her face was contorted in surprise. I was enwrapped by the vibrant story, like how an amateur painter would watch color schemes and brushstrokes intently, and how an astronaut would watch the destructive things we like to call black holes. We're a curious species. Because, my mom said, she's in love. Age 14. I'm older now, and I know The Little Mermaid is just a fairy tale. Eels won't goad me into sketchy bargains. We can't speak to seagulls, and such adventures from land to sea can only flourish in our imagination. Now, I have the beginnings of an inclination that love isn't straightforward. Love is cruel, and love is demanding. Love is full of cracks, potholes in the winter that only grow bigger and bigger if they aren't attended to and you let water fill them up. Love isn't all sparkles and weddings and happily ever afters. Age 14. Why didn't Prince Eric get a tail then? My little sister asked, in the middle of singing Little Mermaid songs. They were a household favorite. Well, there wasn't a land Ursula of him to make a deal with, and he doesn't have a nice voice anyway, is what we settled on. But the question still remained that we didn't answer. Did she love him more? Did he love her less? Did she love him enough to give up her tail and her voice, but he only loved her enough to choose her when it was convenient? And why was she the one that had to give up everything she had? Age 16. Love is often seen as a pinnacle of life, the grandest adventure, this emotion that lives and dances in every single one of us, that breathes galloping horses and butterflies into our hearts. It makes the world gain color, gives you a home. It's seen as everything. So perhaps it was a great sacrifice that Ariel made to be with Prince Eric. Maybe she was honored to give up everything for him, all she had and all she knew, for love. Well, isn't that love? All giving and serving and loving, because isn't that love? Leaving her family and her home and her identity as a mermaid, walking blindly and using forks in her hair, sacrificing a tail and her voice for legs just to walk beside a prince. Isn't that right, society? I'm still grasping for straws to answer this question today because I don't know. There seems to be no right answer, but maybe that is the answer. Maybe I'm not supposed to say anything. Maybe I'm supposed to give my voice away. Age 16 still. Society, I ask, would you give up your voice to fall in love? No, they say. What about a tail? Or your legs? Or wings even? Of course not, they answer. So why did Ariel? I ask yet again. Why do we teach our princesses to give up everything? Why do they need to sacrifice their voices and their tails, their free speech and their free will, their identity? Because it's a society. Simply, again, she's in love. Thank you.
Thank you, Mimi. Awesome, awesome poem. All right, so we're going to move to our last contestant of the night. He is a 17-year-old young man by the name of Soma. Take it away, Soma. It's all you.
Who am I, if not a poet? A dazzling warrior of the human experience, a connoisseur of language the same way others will taste wine, exposing human miseries to the brilliance of its joy. The muse on my shoulder, a great eagle, hunting ideas for prey. So it's not natural for a poet to find confidence in their craft, to find themselves brilliant for orchestrating words into an ocean of emotion, to see the stars of Celestia and say, I can do better. We are madmen who write until our fingers ache in numbness, as if our writing hand is so alive the heart doesn't need to kiss its blood. Great authors say that only the insane write novels, the stupid compile poetry, the idiotic and the mad are the only ones to weave their emotion into motion. So that must mean I am the smartest man alive, because I am no poet. I am no dazzling Peter Pan, gripping youth by a strand, but instead a pirate, stealing time from my future and ideas from others so my ego can hang on to the one thing it thinks it's decent at. Math? Don't make me laugh. Science? a 75, give or take. Thinking? I couldn't even think my way through this morning, let alone this line. What do I, connoisseur, except self-pity and aggrandizing misery? I find weakness in my craft. The source of this strength is I have no other strengths. My muse is a sickly parrot that tells me I'm not good enough. Like a chain binding my eyes open so I have to look at my life's mistakes and then take notes. I always wonder if I actually love this pen or if my hand really has just gotten numb. I am mad, not because I write with God's grace, no, but because I keep trying to without it. The empathy of others is the only thing I have left because the excitement in my voice and my eyes are so obvious that when I show them a poem, they can feel me asking for affirmation, confirmation that I didn't waste my time. But I did waste my time. So much time where I could have done something with who I was. I wrote poetry to reminisce about when things were better, when I had things to blame besides myself for being myself. I am no poet. Because a poet is a spectacular dovetailed miracle, a marvelous, brilliant spectacle, a kaleidoscope of the human experience, like a million people had to give a part of their soul to reflect the beauty of this world, a hail of brilliance, a torrent of fireworks flashing like light bulbs. Poets are the human species in the shower, screaming, I got it, because I am not that poet. I wish I could be, but there's no bone like that in my body. There's nothing inside my bones except empty promises and hollow metaphors, like, for example, a broken Christmas carol infesting a staircase of starlight that leads to high heaven. What does that mean? It means I wish I was better. I wish I was a poet. Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Soma. That was great. Um, Before we get on to the next part, I just want to take a minute to just take a second to just appreciate the amount of talent that we have witnessed tonight from these amazing youth. It is just, it blows me away every single time that we at Stay Golden put on shows like this to see the amazing talent that comes from this age group, that so much passion and so much energy. I just want to give a shout out and a thank you to everybody who's performed tonight. This has been weird, I'll admit. I'm used to standing on the stage and then I call the performer to the stage and then I walk off the stage and then they leave the stage and I walk back onto the stage. I'm not used to this, so I'm not very tech savvy. I want to give another shout out to Shuli being in the background, hooking everything up. I want to give a shout out to Wi-Fi for being in the building tonight, because Wi-Fi has been pretty good to all of us, I would say. We are going to move to our deliberation process. And I want to firstly say another thank you to our judges, because I am glad that I am not judging this. And what we are going to do is John is going to take over and we are going to run what's called a Kahoot game. You might have heard of it. There are about 70 people in the chat. I think there might be room for 50 or so. And before I go, I also want to say thank you to everybody in the chat. This has been the most supportive and awesome live chat I've ever seen in my whole entire life. So thank you so much for everybody watching and for supporting these amazing young artists who are doing something so courageous and weird, like I mentioned, by doing this over Zoom and YouTube Live. So I'm going to break off with the judges, and we're going to do some deliberation, and John is going to take over, and you guys can do a Kahoot. So he will explain what's going to happen now.
Hey, so right now we're gonna have a Kahoot. The judges are gonna break out, and they're just gonna discuss what they thought of these great performances thus far. So you're welcome to join that right now. Kahoot, while the judges deliberate and pick a winner.
All right, so we're gonna be starting this in a second here. We're gonna give you guys a minute more. We're gonna be starting. All right, shout out to Vin Smiley Face. My name is Tough. Sorry, I'm hacking. We have Xenogear 3450. We have LED. We have Halffish One, Cupcake, the Goat. QWQ just joined in. We have 27 people right now. Here we go. All right, give you guys 10 more seconds and then we'll start. All right. We will start now. When two or more words have the same ending sound, it is called this. Is it a rhyme scheme, alliteration, rhyme, or repetition? The faster you answer, the more points you get. All right. Next. Crash, zoink, moo, boom, and pop are examples of alliteration, onomatopoeia, personification, or poetry. Who knows? I don't know. We have 11 people get the correct answer. Moving on to the next question. And we have Mimi in the lead. Poetry is writing that is musical and artistic in nature, writing that is used to express feelings, a style of writing with few rules, all of the above. We all know that when all of the above is a choice, that is the question. Or the answer. It's a question, right? I gave everyone the right answer. Her eyes are as sparkly as diamonds. Simile, metaphor, alliteration, onomatopoeia. Wow, that is a hard word to say. Goodness dearie me. It's like sounds are hard. Got 19 answers. Alright, it is a simile. Melly and Yim. Words that are used within a poem repeatedly to express a certain point. Rhyme, stanza, repetition, alliteration. Which one is the right answer? 15 seconds. 10 seconds. You got 16 answers. This is your daily Kahoot. And we have 6 people got it right. Next up, comparing two things without using like or as is called metaphor, alliteration, line, or stanza. And that is a metaphor. Also, shout out to the music in this game. Melly on fire right now. Streak of 4. Good work. On a beautiful summer night, the trees dance in the breeze is an example of alliteration, metaphor, onomatopoeia, personification. I can jive to this for sure. Boom, boom, boom. The goat now with a streak. Several lines grouped together in a poem. Line, repetition, stanza, poetry. This is actually my first time reading all this, so first time seeing this. Y'all are doing great, by the way. You guys have been awesome at answering. And it is a stanza. Alright. Type of poetry that is meant to be performed. We got spoken word poetry, ballad poetry, free verse poetry, personification. Performance poetry. Wonder what that is. Three people got it right. Comparing two unlike things using like or as. I think I got this one. I know what this one is. This one's easy. Even I know what it is. I think. Yeah, simile. Mimi slowly climbing back up. Descriptive writing that appeals to any of our 5 senses. Simile, repetition, rhyme scheme, imagery. Alright. Whoa, did no one get that one right? No way. Type of poem that used to be sung using a lyre. Lyric poem. That's quick. One single part of a poem. Oh. Ooh. Like what? Like a letter? Like a word? It's a line. The sound of the word is like the sound of the thing it is describing. Pop, boom, crash. It is the word that no one can pronounce. The cat on the mat sat with the bat is an example of rhyme scheme, alliteration, repetition, rhyme. And it was rhyme. Her eyes staring back at me were dark pieces of coal. I could see that she was truly sad is a Simile, metaphor, onomatopoeia, personification. I'm just gonna stop saying that word. Giving human-like characteristics to non-human things. This one's a toughie. Personification is correct. Good job. An exaggerated statement. Also, I will be right back after a few of these messages. Hyperbole. And I am back. This is a type of poem that tells a story. Is it a lyric poem, narrative poem, free verse poem, or a spoken word poem? Narrative poem. I say that should have been all of the above. The theme of a work of literature is defined as the time and place, the major plot events, a struggle between two opposing forces, the message or essential idea. If you listen closely, you can hear the answer in my voice when I say the answers. It's the message or central idea. Quiz time! One of the theme of Dream Deferred by Langston Hughes is... I don't even know what this book is, so have fun. Give up on your dreams. That's a choice. It is, if you put off a dream, it will end up hurting you somehow. Next up. His temper was a roaring lion is an example of personification, a metaphor, imagery, or imagery and metaphor. And it is imagery and metaphor. What is the imagery found in this line? Does it sag like a heavy load? A backpack dragging someone down, a paperweight, a person trudging through the mud, a person who looks unhappy. It is a backpack dragging someone down. Using an object in literature to represent a big idea, like a white dove representing innocence. Theme. Characterization. Symbolism. Imagery. Symbolism it is. Good work. Poetry uses these instead of paragraphs, stanzas, rhymes, haikus, or sentences. You take your pick. Only one answer is correct. Stanzas the right choice. Good work. Goat right now with the lead. LED, second place. Yim, third. Deceive, fourth. And Tough for fifth. True or false? All poems rhyme. True or false? Two answers. Which one's which? Who knows? Word. Next up. True or false? Poetry is always written in complete sentences. Answer well. Even I knew that one. Quiz time. The speaker of a poem is the author. True or false? Not like a trick question? False it is. The goat just hanging on to that lead. The wind chill slapped me in the face while I walked to school is an example of imagery, personification, metaphor, imagery, and personification. It is imagery and personification. Who would have thunk? What is the imagery in this line? Does it dry up like a raisin in the sun? A grape drying up? A raisin hardening on the ground in the beating sun? The sun beating down? None of the above. It is a raisin hardening on the ground in the beating sun. Oh, Yim catching up. Multi-select. Do these lines contain rhyme? Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang. Yes, no, big yes, big no. The answers are no and big no. Alright, so here we are. LED, third place. Second place, Yim. Number one, we have the GOAT. Thank you guys so much for participating. That was a lot of fun. Got those runner-ups. I missed them, but that was great. Alright, now we are gonna go back to our regularly scheduled broadcasts, and we are gonna have John.
Hi. So the judges have had time to discuss what they thought of these great poems while you guys were completing the Kahoot. So I think we're gonna go over to them in a bit. Are they ready with their decisions? Alrighty. Well, again, it's
Absolutely. I think we're going to be joining back in
Okay.
very soon. We're good, yeah.
a lot of fun. I was really glad to be a part of it because, you know, we have so many people from all over the city, youth from grade 9 and up, some people, you know, just going into high school now, who come from all sorts of different backgrounds and bring in their creative talents. And it's been a great experience for us working with youth from all over the city. Sounds good. I'm sure it wasn't easy to pick a winner.
Okay. Hello, everybody. We are back. Thank you for your patience. I hope the Kahoot was awesome. I'm sure it was chaotic with that many people across that many Wi-Fis streamed from one computer. But we have finished our deliberation process. All of our amazing judges did such an awesome job at scoring everybody. And it was actually extremely close. All three winners were decided within basically 3 points. Again, before I announce who won third place, I want to say thank you so much for all the people who joined us today. watching from home, and for all of the amazing, amazing youth. I've known a few of you from coming through the Stay Golden workshops, and it's been amazing to watch you guys grow. And for all the new people who I've never met before, it's amazing to be able to connect with you. Our point with this whole thing was, since the live platforms have been removed because of COVID-19, our goal was to create a live platform. And I feel like we actually were able to do that tonight. And it's no easy feat. I want to say thank you to everybody involved, and love to continue to connect with the amazing young artists that we've met today and continue to work on projects like this in the future. So I guess you guys want to hear who won. And I guess we will start with who won third place. And I'll remind you that third place is a Rocketbook Everlast, which is something that is basically an eternal notebook. It works with an app. You write in it and you can take a picture, and then you can scribble it away, and the notebook lasts forever. So what we're going to do is send you these prizes. But without further ado, our third place winner of the Rocketbook Everlast is Zara Rahman with a score of 109. So everybody give a round of applause wherever you are. You probably only hear mine, but
congrats.
Everybody's clapping. Congratulations, Zara. Our second place prize, which is $200 in Amazon gift cards, goes to Deneen. Congratulations, Deneen. You've won yourself $200 in Amazon gift cards. We're very, very proud of you. We are going to be shipping them to you and mailing all this stuff out, and we'll deal with all that stuff later. So for first place of the Agincourt Youth Poetry Slam first ever online edition with a score of 112, the winner of the brand new golden engraved iPad is Bloodline. Congratulations, Bloodline. Also goes by Harini. You have won our first place prize, and so concludes our night and our event. I want to say thank you so much for everybody who competed. You guys are all so talented, and you have blessed us older folk with all of your young energy and your soulfulness. And we just want to continue to give opportunities for you to perform and to work and to share your gifts and to do what you were made to do. So win or not, you guys have all done something amazing tonight by sharing your gifts and doing what you were meant to do. And we are so glad that we were able to create this community with all of you, all of the participants, and all of the people at home. So thank you so much to everybody for joining us today. Again, my name is Jesse. This is Stay Golden, and we are so glad that you could have been a part of this. So thank you to our judges. Thank you to John for losing to me in a rap battle. Thank you to Shuli for being behind the scenes, and everybody at home. We love you, and we will. And yeah, so subscribe to the YouTube channel. There's going to be lots of more YouTube videos coming up. We want to start doing professional recordings for youth. If you're a youth and you want to have your poem recorded like how mine was at the beginning, you can let us know, and we'd love to start building a network online. So subscribe to the YouTube channel, and we will definitely keep you posted for events like this in the future. Thank you so much, everybody, and have a good